Back with the second week of Cobber Coach's Corner with head coach Terry Horan, coming off an opening game, lost to Eau Claire, but it was a game that could have gone either way. Could you see any specific momentum changes in that game that swung it one way or the other?
First of all, for a first game, I thought we operated pretty well. I mean, it was a hard-fought, physical matchup, really. Both defenses had some really good days. And for us, I really felt like we were starting to take that momentum. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot a few times with some false starts and then some untimely turnovers. But when we kicked that field goal to go up 10-7 with about 8 minutes to go, I felt really good about having the momentum and the way our defense was playing. Unfortunately, the ensuing kickoff got them to midfield, which puts their defense in a short field situation, and then they found a way to score to go up 14-10, and then we had some good momentum on that last drive, and a lot of plays happened in the game, but some unfortunate non-calls that didn't happen. But there was also about 100 other plays that something could have happened for us too. So I'm not blaming it on anybody or anything like that. But we had opportunities out there, and we had opportunities to win that football game. And give credit to Eau Claire, they found a way to do it, and we learned a lot. In those type of games, those are really good games for us to prepare for our season, and our season is our conference season. And I feel like the two matchups that we have in non-con really are doing that. But watching film, you're never as good as you think you are, you're never as bad as you think you are. There was a lot of good stuff that happened in a game one situation, and we're going to learn from it. We're going to be better because of it, and that's how we're moving forward.
Talk about the good things that did happen. One of the players that Cobber Nation's probably not familiar with, Jade Mousse, linebacker, comes on and has a great game in the opener, and he is named MIC Defensive Player of the Week. What are some of the strengths that he has that he gives that defense?
His athleticism. I mean, he's known as Moose, and he's extremely athletic, but he plays like a moose. I mean, he's just big, physical type kid, but he can run. He's got great quickness. He's got great instincts. He's a heck of a football player. He came on the scene really well for us last year. Probably traveled a little bit as a freshman too, but he's a freak show athlete, and we're happy he's in maroon and gold.
Another person that came up with a big play that has some ties to Concordia, Jacob People, and came up with a big interception there for you guys. How has his progression been since he stepped on? Former athletic director for Concordia, Armin People, it's his grandson.
Correct.
So
Jacob is a heck of an athlete too. He's been kind of riddled with some untimely injuries over the years, but this is probably as healthy as he's been, and we're thankful for that because he adds a lot of depth to our secondary. But he's super athletic. Again, he's another freakish athletic type kid. I mean, when you look at him and you see his stature, he's a rangy athlete, but he'll come up and hit you. I mean, he's not afraid of contact. He's got great vision, great instincts, good ball skills, heck of a football player.
Now let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Owen Miller continues to shine. You look at Owen Miller without pads or anything on, and you're like, there's no way he could get open. And he does, but it continues. He just catches passes, gets open, and runs great routes. What does he do, especially because he caught the lone touchdown pass for you guys? Right. What does he do well?
He's just super skilled. He's a student of the game. Pound for pound, one of the toughest guys I've been around. He's always got some back issues and some leg issues, but he just keeps grinding, and he can catch the football. He finds ways to get open, and him and Cooper have a really good connection, and he's a winner. I mean, this kid's a champion. He wants to win. He's competitive, and he brings that fire to the table too.
Kind of like a young Terry Horan up there.
Yeah.
Moving to 45.
He's certainly got a lot more than I have, that's for sure.
Now let's go ahead and look forward to the game at Pacific Lutheran. Let's first talk about your kind of itinerary. We're taping this on a Wednesday, so take the fans through your schedule that you'll get to from now until game time on Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, today we started out with our morning practice. We've been going morning practice, and today was the first practice on our new field, which was great. And the lights was just spectacular. And so, yeah, 5:30 in the morning we were up bright and early, and 8 o'clock we finished that practice. So it was good. It was a good Wednesday 24-period practice. Tomorrow morning we'll practice again. Then the young men will go off to class. Probably around 1:30, close to 2 o'clock, they'll start making their way out to the locker room. Buses arrive about 2:30. We've got some pizzas and stuff they'll grab and get on the bus. And then we head down to Minneapolis. We depart Concordia at about 3 o'clock. We'll get into Minneapolis airport about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. And when you got 80 people in your party, I mean, it's interesting, let me tell you. So you got to be really detailed, and I've got that list of things that we need to do. All the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and so hopefully nothing, cross our fingers, hopefully nothing happens. And I've been saying about a million times, bring your IDs, bring your IDs. Jake Pollock, our offensive coordinator, also does our equipment. He's got a checklist for every guy to make sure they have the sheet and they check off everything they need to bring so we don't leave anything behind. But we'll do the check-in process. We're flying out of the cities in Delta Airlines. The flight leaves at 9:49 p.m. Minneapolis time, Minnesota time, Central Standard Time. We fly into Seattle. We land at about 11:50 p.m. Seattle time, which is Pacific, 2 hours behind us. And we've got 2 buses waiting there for us. We'll get our checked bags. We'll get on those buses, and we'll go stay at the Hilton Garden Inn in Renton, Washington. The boys I'll do some room checks about 1:30, go through the schedule for the next day. We'll let them sleep in a little bit, have a little late breakfast. Then we'll hop on 2 buses and head over to Renton Municipal Stadium. It's kind of Renton High School. It's about 10 minutes from our hotel, and we'll do a little walk through, a little flow and go type practice and whatnot, and then have like a snack lunch right afterwards being delivered to us. But kind of cool for everybody to know. But and maybe a lot of people don't know, but Gary Larson, former Cobber great, former Minnesota Viking, played about 10, 11 years in the NFL. He's one of the four Purple People Eaters. Gary Larson lives in the Seattle area, so he's going to come out and say hi to the boys. He was in 1988 inducted into the college or to Concordia's Hall of Fame, the Athletic Hall of Fame. That was my senior year, and we're really excited for Gary Larson to come out and say hi to the boys. I mean, none of our guys that probably have heard of the Purple People Eaters, but this guy wore the maroon and gold, and he wore the purple, and he did it really, really well. So he's gonna talk to the boys for a little bit. We'll get back to the hotel. We've got a little Italian feast coming in, a little catering coming in. And then we also have Jordan Telge coming over. Jordan Telge works at Seattle University, but was my first recruit when I came on the scene back in 2001, Moorhead High product. He was an All-American, inducted into the Cobber Hall of Fame in 2019. But he's going to come over and light a fire under the boys too, I'm sure. He's going to come over to the hotel and meet with our guys at about 8 o'clock. And then they'll be in their rooms about 10:30, do some room checks, go through Saturday's schedule. We'll leave probably about 9:45ish after breakfast. It's about a 40-minute drive into Tacoma. We play at Spark Stadium, which isn't on their campus. It's about 15 minutes away from their campus. It's a high school field. That's where they play all their home games. So we'll pull up there around 10:30 and just have our normal game day routine. Now that's 3 o'clock. 1 o'clock kickoff out there is 3 o'clock Central Standard Time kickoff for us here. Afterwards, then, we're going to eat on the campus of Pacific Lutheran as a team. And we have a little time to kill because then we'll go back to the Seattle airport. We've got the red eye back. That should be fun, all right? 12:30 type flight into Minneapolis. We will arrive at about 5:45 in the morning, Minneapolis, on Sunday morning. We'll have 2 buses that'll be waiting for us. And then we're going to drive to Freeport, Minnesota to Charlie's Cafe, if you've ever heard of Charlie's Cafe. And I've got a breakfast lined up for the boys. We'll get a good breakfast in, get back on the 2 buses. We should arrive back into our parking lot at Concordia College about 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, just in time for us to come into the office, start watching film, and start looking at St. Scholastica. How's that for an itinerary?
That's about as good as it's going to get. In typical Terry Horan fashion, detail for detail for detail. And then finally, just talk about a little bit about Pacific Lutheran as the team. Played them last year, so you're familiar with them. They came out and they had a good win in their opener, big win in their opener. Have they changed at all any from last year? They have different personnel. Have they did anything tactically that's different?
Well, they have a new defensive coordinator, and they play fast and they're physical. A lot of their guys are back. Looking from our game, you're looking around 5-6 guys returning on both sides of the ball. Their entire specialty unit is back. They're very well coached. I mean, it was a tough seesaw battle, and then special teams played a pretty pivotal role in that game. We had a blocked field goal that Stu Demerit brought back to the house. I think we ended up winning that game 26-21, but it was a hard-fought, physical game. Their quarterback is a stud. I mean, he can run, he can throw, he's got great weapons. They got good size up front. This is a really good football team. They play in a great conference, the Northwest Conference of Linfield. You've probably heard Linfield comes out of that league a lot. Whitworth came down and played Gustavus last week and beat them 40-7. So the league is strong, and PLU has a strong history of tradition. If you've heard a coach by the name of Frosty Westerling, just a legend in college football, much like Jake Christensen and Jim Christopherson and John Gallardi. And PLU's had a strong history. We're really looking forward to it. A lot of Concordia PLU ties, so it's there's a rich tradition with two programs here, and it's going to be a dogfight.
All right, good luck on Saturday, and hopefully it'll be a happy red-eye flight back to Minneapolis.
Let's go. Thanks.